Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. And my goodness, interesting show for you today, even if I do say so myself. Let me just move my computer a little bit closer. If you're all too far away, let's go. There we are. A little bit too far. In fact, let me switch off my printer and unplug. Here we are. That's better. Well, you know what? There is a lot to cover today, folks. Oh God, is my hat right? Let's put a lot to cover today. I would normally read out something funny and stuff like that, but you know what? There's too much drama going on. I think we also, as well, this will be the show. So, of course, today is the 11th of April, 2024, and it is 5 minutes. Just now, it's 5 minutes past 10 p.m. in the evening here, UK time. And get the camera in the middle. And I think one of the things that I need to do, I've got your questions. Where are they? Oh, it's underneath here. Got your questions here. I was able to get them, squeeze them down to get them onto one side of A4. Let's actually talk about some of the fallout from the solar eclipse already, which we all know happened on the April 11th. Sorry, April 8th. Pardon me, April 8th. Now, as you know, these things basically a few weeks before an eclipse, the eclipse season officially begins. That's when we start getting the energy in. Now, we saw what happened, of course, with the lunar eclipse, with, of course, what was going on with Princess Catherine, etc., and all of that stuff. And even now, I'm really getting some quite eye-popping stuff that is being sent to me privately, directly, about people's views on that and stuff like that. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to tackle those fully yet in this show, because of course I need to have just have a little rummage for myself and stuff like that. But quite interesting stuff. But so we saw how that went around the world, yes, because it was a lunar eclipse and the moon deals with the masses, the people. We've just had the solar eclipse. So, of course, the solar eclipses tend to deal with well-known figures, shall we say. So this is leaders, more famous people and stuff like that. Obviously, Princess Catherine is famous, but in the context of everything, it was all about family, wasn't it? Remember, it was the family picture. The moon deals with family. That lit the whole thing. Anyway, I don't want to get too sidetracked by that. So we're now in the energy, of course, of the solar eclipse. And I was writing to the people on my folks on my Santa Fe retreat people. Oh, by the way, a couple of places have become available on that. So remember, it's sold out, but then things have been happening. Dramas have been happening. Cars have been breaking down, or there might have been a health issue, etc., and stuff like that. So if you are interested in joining me on my Santa Fe retreat, which is happening from the 26th of August to the 30th of August 2024 in Santa Fe, New Mexico, then go for it. There is still time. So a couple of spaces have been left, so I thought I should quickly say that. But going back to the eclipses that just happened, so famous people, notable people, who are deemed to make an impact in this world, will also be in the news. And of course, this deals with big revelations as well. So let me just get through some of this stuff quickly, and then I want to get onto your questions and pull some tarot and stuff like that. All right, so what is it that I need to share that I just saw? And between my consultations today and just what's coming out in the news, it's been quite dazzling, to be honest. So, so I've put here consequences of the eclipse. So a woman called Chon Milan, so she's a female tycoon of Vietnam, a famous property tycoon. So a very prominent senior person. Remember, the moon deals with what? Leaders of all kinds, kings and queens, prominent people, famous or exceedingly wealthy, all of this kind of stuff. So Chon Milan has been sentenced to death. Yes, sentenced to death by the Vietnamese government for basically stealing if I remember correctly, I think I made the notes quickly, around about $44 billion from the Vietnamese government over a period of 11 years. And they're saying that this may actually even bankrupt the national bank. That's how much that's been stolen. The death penalty is not normally given to women, allegedly, in Vietnam, but they said the crimes were so exceptional. And she's bribed a lot of people. They've confessed to their guilt and they're trying to find the assets. But look at that. I mean, my God, that's an eclipse moment. Also, as well, now I can't say the names of the people involved with this, but this is actually this happened with a close friend of mine who sadly was swindled by someone, her and her friends. This happened a couple of years ago. And anyway, this person is actually quite a big fraudster and stuff like that. That person, my friend, has just shared with me, they've just been raided by the FBI. The FBI kicked the door down, have arrested this person and his wife. Yeah. And not only is he wanted for fraud and all of this, that, and the other, there are aspersions that the business partner that may have gone under suspicious circumstances, and they're even going to be making a Netflix documentary about it. I kid you not. This is classic Eclipse. Also as well, and some sadly as well, unfortunately, some people are really having health crises, health dramas, stuff like that. For my clients and stuff, you know, there's just a lot of stuff that is happening, but not just my clients, just a lot of people in general having to deal with health stuff. Of course, we've seen as well with Lady G. Hopefully she'll be back with us soon. We will have Sheila from Celtic Tarot. She's going to be on. She's going to be on next week. She's kindly accepted to be a guest. So there's that. We've got Trump's woes. Yeah. So of course, Duck L'Orange. So his attempts to delay the case of Stormy Daniels 3 times have failed. And it looks like it's happening on Monday. That's the trial that is due to happen, unless, of course, the Supreme Court steps in. You already know my views, folks, on what I think about the Supreme Court. Yeah, I don't need to elaborate, but even they may not be able to help him. But remember, I said they're going to do weird stuff because of that Jupiter-Uranus combination. You never know. Yeah, but even for them, if they step on this one and put their fingers on the scale, it's going to be nakedly obvious. In other news as well, the CDC which is the Central for, what's it, disease and, oh, I forget. Everyone knows the CDC in America. You know who I'm talking about. So there was a committee, which is the Novel Coronavirus Southwestern Intergovernmental Committee, with these senators. I don't really know who they are. I don't know if they're Democrat or Republican. Please don't throw stones at me if it happens that, you know, I'm not endorsing. It's just that whoever was doing it. One of them was Senator Jane Champ. I don't know who that is. District 29. That's what it said on her little thing. But they were asked to produce a document which revealed what they knew about myocarditis and stuff like that. And of the 148 pages of this document, 148 pages were redacted. She literally held up the document and it was 148 blank pages. Yeah. Yeah. You know my views on certain things. I, as you've heard me say before, I said with Neptune, the movement of Neptune, I said in 2024, but definitely by the end of 2025, a huge illusion, yeah, will be exposed. Yeah. I'm not going to go because I know that can be like a bit triggering for people and stuff like that. But look back up my videos. I have been saying this for a long time. Pluto is going through sidereal Capricorn, institutions, government, big business, pharma. Do you remember I've said this consistently? Pluto is going to be revealing some of the darker elements that are happening there. And of course, the eclipses, become major triggering points. So at some point after this, I'll put a little link in, because a panel in the UK, which is called, oh gee whiz, what are they called? They are the PMPCA, and it stands for the Prescriptions Medicines Code of Practice. Have basically, Pfizer have admitted to them, and said they're deeply sorry for breaking 5 clauses when it comes to like medicine and stuff like that. I'll quickly read them out. So breach of clause 2, bringing discredit upon and reducing confidence in the pharmaceutical industry. That one. Breach of clause 3.1, promoting an unlicensed medicine. And again, this is all bona fide. I'm not making this stuff up. This is what our British regulator has said about Pfizer, for entertainment purposes only, but you know what I'm talking about. And then breach of clause 7.9, making misleading claims that did not reflect available evidence regarding possible adverse reactions. Wow. And then breach of clause 9.1, failing to maintain high standards. I could read you out the whole kind of shebang, but you remember I said when the nodes of the moon changed on the 29th of November 2023 into sidereal Pisces and sidereal Virgo respectively, do you remember I said it's going to be everything about health and healing? And I said there's going to be, people are going to be in the news. I also said when Saturn went into sidereal Aquarius on the 17th of January 2023, I said there was going to be accountability of all sorts, particularly around man-made things. I talked about space. I talked about technology. I talked about AI. I talked about science. I said there's going to be things to do in regard to that. With Neptune as well, now has moved into sidereal Pisces. I said where the fog was previously will lift off, and then we're going to examine all the flotsam and jetsam. So there's a lot going on. And finally, I must get the show started, obviously. Well, this is part of the show. Now, this is to do with Prince Harry. Now, look, I'm a fan, I'm a fan of Prince Harry. Look, he was very, very loved. We need to remember this. He was very, very loved in the UK. Obviously, that relationship has changed now. Now, remember I said, look, I said, he will come to regret that book one day. And I got cussed out in the comments like I was some, you know what, douchebag for saying that. And it wasn't a personal dig or, whatever. I was just saying in terms of what was divulged, what is happening now? Now, look at this. This is the Heritage Foundation. Boo, hiss. Yeah, we know that, they're very extreme. But because he admitted in his book, remember he said in his book that he took cocaine, of course, which is a class A drug, which we all know. He admitted to smoking cannabis and taking magic mushrooms in the book. Now, his lawyer has said, just because it's in the book, it doesn't mean it's a statement of fact. But of course, it is an autobiography after all. And he admitted to other kind of really quite serious things in there. And I think what it is, agents, or let's say that judges that may be sympathetic to the Heritage Foundation might not take such a good view of that. So apparently it has been moved over to a judge to adjudicate on. I don't know who the judge is called, and my notes here are just too long, but it is a breach of US federal law to not state if you have taken drugs and stuff like that for your visa application. All of you know that. Again, this isn't a personal dig. It isn't. We're talking about the law of the American lands, which all of you guys know. And apparently on the form, it does say, where is it? It says, where does it say in the form? On the questionnaire, it says, do you or have you ever used drugs, or are you a drug addict? Yes or no? Yeah, so this is why this has been moved over to the case now, because they're saying, well, because of blah, blah, blah. So what am I talking about in this context? We're seeing notable figures, institutions having these ructions. And one more is that what's his name? OJ Simpson has also passed. Did you hear that? He died. I think he at 76 died of cancer at 76. All of his family were around him. But again, he was what, a very famous person. Isn't it funny? When I'm moving my jaw, it's like my glasses are lifting up and down. Very famous sport personality, and of course incredibly controversial. I'm not going to go into the case and all of that stuff. I'm just not. But we all know about the car chase and the what have you. And again, this is someone who is an extremely prominent figure. So again, famous people, people with big name and fame, royals, CEOs, tycoons. The eclipses affect a lot of those people as well. So I just wanted to get a bit of that kind of how the eclipses are affecting us. Remember, this is one of the most intense eclipses for a long time, and many of you have been saying they've been feeling the energy, but many of you have also felt the spirituality of the eclipse as well, the opportunity for transformation and change. And remember what I said, the age of magic is coming back. Right, let me drink some water. God, that was a lot to get out, wasn't it? That's eclipses for you. All right, let's quickly see who's in a let's see who's in the chat. So someone says here, hopefully it's going to click up quickly. Slight delay here. Oh God, I hate when this happens. What's happened here? Oh, here we go. Every one of these things. So CC Ryder says this is a non-issue. We don't care about the Heritage Foundation attacks on people. Bigger issues in the world than Harry filling out a form. Yes, true. However, the Heritage Foundation has a tremendous influence on all of US politics, because they, of course, are one of the chief supporters for SCOTUS. So you should pay attention to what the Heritage Foundation are up to, because they are also a big part of Project 2025, which is if Duck Larange gets in power, they're going to basically reissue Gilead for the all of America. So I wouldn't dismiss them per se. Yes, maybe the Harry thing, whatever. But look, I'm a Brit, and I just think it's, remember, I'm talking about the eclipse energy, how it affects prominent people. So that is just, Harry is just one of all of the other examples that I gave. But pay attention to the Heritage Foundation, because they have tremendous power and influence, particularly when it comes to the USA judiciary. And they could also be a balancing factor as well, or influential factor when it comes to matters with Duck Larange and him actually facing justice. So I would just add a little caveat there on that. Oh, yes, someone's put here P. Diddy too. Yes, of course, P. Diddy. Oh, someone's saying they're new to the channel. Wade Woodruff, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's just see here. Who else? Oh, someone's saying here, I had the worst headache after the eclipse. Finally today, I feel better. Yeah, Tatiana, yeah, some people also telling me they had headaches as well. Anyway, let's get stuck in. Just had to get that off the chest there. So much more to come out of the wash, let's put it that way, folks. Okay, so this is coming from Nicola. Can Ukraine really come back against Russia now? Now their weaponry is severely diminished. I've not been actually following much of Ukraine as of late. I've been busy writing, especially as Russia destroyed a major power plant outside Kiev today. So that's coming from Nicola. And this can be blended in with Manuela Orchid. So she says, hi, Hoagie, I hope all is well. Myself, I had a rough time health-wise, but getting better every day now. Sorry to hear about that, Manuela. A lot of people are having these health issues coming up. My question would be if Putin might make some kind of agreement because of Ukraine this year, maybe with a third party involved. Didn't you say magic is coming back? I really hope so. Yes, magic is coming back, but we need to use it, yeah, to study it, to collect together and pool our power and our resources for the highest good, yeah, the highest good and light of everyone to counter so much of these darker things that we're seeing in the world. So let's ask about Ukraine. So can Ukraine really come back after their weaponry is severely diminished? And this is also linking in with Putin as well. Will he make an agreement? Let's have a look. Oh, just click that off there. Okay, let's get into this. Okay. Let's go like this. Putin and Ukraine. Putin and Ukraine. Oh, okay. Folks, this is actually quite interesting, and there's 383 of you in the house right now. Thank you so much for joining me. Much appreciated. Mwah! Big kiss. More of you are coming in. All right. Putin, Ukraine, agreements. Can Ukraine keep going? Stuff like that. Very interesting. So I've pulled 5 cards, and there are 2 major arcana in here. So here, if we see, we have the 5 of Wands. So quite literally, as we can see, look, this is literally talking about the conflict, isn't it? Here you see 5 different persons wearing 5 different colored tunics, all going in different directions. So this it typifies conflict, disagreement, stuff like that. Of course, this is the war in Ukraine, and all of the fallout and all of the stuff that has happened since then. So we can see the conflict is raging. What's in the obstacle position? Here we have temperance. So in the sense of, you know, normally in the context, you know, temperance is seen as quite a nice card, but it has turned up here in the obstacle position. It would normally denote, you know, alchemy, you know, finding a new balance, balancing things out, sobriety. But here, this can also talk about a lack of chemistry or a difficulty finding a balance, which of course makes absolute sense, doesn't it, in context of the battle in Ukraine and the lack of stability thereof. Also, as well, before I forget, do you remember I was talking about Neptune being in sidereal Pisces? Massive floods across Russia and Kazakhstan. So Western Siberia and Kazakhstan. Hot temperatures melted a lot of the snow early, and it's absolute deluge. So the temperance with the water here made me think of obviously Russia as well, because it's a Russia question. If we look here in the middle, look, there is a quest for stability. So at some point, I think, look, both sides must be fatiguing. I say must be fatiguing. They are fatigued. Of course they are. This has gone on for quite a while now. So I think because this has come in the middle of the reading, and this is a card of stability, domesticity, making sure that everything is okay. It's come here in the middle. So this suggests to me in this context that you know, they might be wanting to reach some kind of agreement, or at least have a situation become more stable. If we look here, we see the next card is the Eight of Pentacles. So this deals, of course, with hard work, effort, being prepared to put in the hours to get things done. So that's actually, I would say, quite a positive connotation, isn't it? If this card here, the Queen of Pentacles, is talking about stability, and then people may be working hard for that stability, that seems that could be positive. And then we have the World card as the outcome. So of course the World card deals with endings and beginnings, beginnings and endings. It often refers to the completion of a big cycle after much work and effort has been done. And I think it's, isn't it the last? Yeah, it's the last card. So here, what this would suggest is this big cycle. Hopefully, could it be that after such time, maybe someone wants to bring this to an end, maybe it will come to a close. I'm really hoping that when Jupiter moves into sidereal Taurus on the 1st of May 2023, only a few weeks from now, he's moving out of Aries, which of course is associated with war, and Taurus is known as a very peaceful sign. So I'm going to say cautiously, and also as well, Earth, the coins deal with the element of Earth. I'm going to say I think there is a will to bring this to an end, but we'll have to see what the balance is, yeah, what the compromise is. That remains to be seen in order to bring the conflict to an end and for there to be more stability. But there is this element of wanting to work hard towards something and to bring a cycle to the end. So I would say overall, apart from the first card, the rest are really, I would say, are really quite positive. So let's see. But if there is peace to come, it's probably from putting on my astrological hat and shirt. It's probably more likely to happen from May onwards, or getting towards the end of the month. But if a peace treaty or anything like that is to happen, it's going to be when the physical body of Jupiter enters sidereal Taurus. That, I would say, is when it's more likely. So let's see. And then Uranus will come in on June the 1st, bringing a radical element in there as well. So we'll have to see, but it could be a radical surprise in a good way. All right, I hope that was useful for you. All right, let's see who else is in the house before I get to the next question. Someone's saying, it's taking a while to click up. Actually, Tart and Spice is saying I actually got an energy boost from the eclipse. That's good for you. Excellent. Joe G says, Ty agreed at Hogarth's Global Astrology. Oh, someone asked, Chris Cassidy asked, can you do a chart on the Heritage Foundation? Oh, now that would be a good one, wouldn't it? Maybe, okay, maybe do a deep dive chart on the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, that's a great suggestion. Thanks so much for that. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Who else do we have here? Fozzie Ozark is saying, hi, Hoagie, afternoon tarot family. And JC saying, Harry will not be deported. Yeah, I would say it's probably unlikely, but it depends on the judge. Yeah, it depends on the judge. If the judge is a bit more conservative and wants to make an example of Harry, and if it turns out, I mean, if he's admitted on the form, yes, I had an issue with drugs, you know, blah, 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 and they still accept him in anyway, that's a different thing. But of course, he's fighting to not have the form shown. So I would say it depends on the judge. But remember too, with the cards that I pulled on Harry about a couple of weeks ago now, do you remember I did William, Catherine, Harry and Meghan readings? Do you remember? He kept on getting offerings. I said he's going to be made some kind of offer, and it looks like he might be coming back to the UK in some kind of form, or taking on royal duties. So of course, if he's no longer in America, then that would fit with that. But I also said it would be tricky as well for Meghan, because obviously her relationship with the UK press as well has been exceptionally difficult, and as we know, they were incredibly hard on her, and I don't think she would particularly want to come back to the UK. But we'll have to see. So it depends on the judge, but it has now been passed to a judge. So of course, however they decree is however they decree. Let's see here. Oh, look here. So CC Ride is saying, Hogarth, all I know about the Heritage Foundation, Victoria Orban's team worked with them to develop Project 25, right, per MSNBC. Just saying that this thing with Harry is a non-issue. Yeah, okay, you know, fair enough. But it's coming from that ilk. And remember, I'm mentioning this because of the eclipses. Remember, I said notable people. I'm just evidencing how that energy is playing up. And obviously it's a non-issue. I mean, he's certainly not what's her face, yeah? The woman, what is she called? He's not he's not in he's not in Tron Milan's situation, who's been sentenced to death. You know, that's far more difficult, isn't it? So let's see here. But thank you for those questions, and thank you everyone for writing in the comments as well. Right, let's move on to the next one. So Vincent Perry has asked, hi Hogarth, as a frequent visitor to the UK, I am hoping Labour will do well in the next election. What does the astrology / tarot say? So let's look at the let's see what the tarot has to say. I've not done their chart. I mean, for those that, ooh, did you see that? Look. The Fool has fallen out. Wow. Okay. New beginnings, or is it folly? Let's see what the rest of the cards say. For those that follow UK politics, you know, the Tories are in dire straits, deservedly so. They are dreadful. I was talking with someone who shall remain unnamed, who actually works in Parliament, and that person said this is the worst UK government that we have ever had, and I agree. And the issues with child poverty and all this stuff is just absolutely just unacceptable. And then another jumper. All right, only got three more to pull. Okay. Wow, very jumpy cards for Labour. Let's have a look. Labour. What are their prospects for the election? Oops. Oh, shyster. It's spun. I just have to assume it's the right way up, and I managed to get it. Ooh, okay, right. This is interesting. 483 of you joining me right now. Thank you so much. And please don't forget as well to like and subscribe and share. And if you're not able to make a donation, please don't worry. You can just watch an ad, literally, but count to 11. Yeah, and then skip, and you're free. All right, so Labour, what are their prospects? So as you saw, this is the card that fell out of the deck when I was asking the question. Now, here it is. It's the Fool. Yeah. So what this talks about, what is the Fool? The Fool is at the beginning of the journey. The world, of course, is at the end. There's 22 major arcana. The Fool is both card 0 and number 22. You could one could argue. So it's a kind of an alpha omega card, but really this is about what? Here we see the youth about to leap off the mountain or walk off the mountain. And here's his companion that could either be encouraging him or trying to get him to stop. Depends on the interpretation. Either way, this is about taking a leap of faith, and it's fresh and brand new starts. So this looks like a brand new start for Labour would imply, of course, being in power. Yeah, because because the Tories have been have been in power for the best part of 14 years. Yes, either 13 years and loose change, or 14, or just over 14 years. So a long time now. So the Fool card turning up for them is actually quite good in this context. My ear went a little bit funny. Anyway, here in the obstacle position, look, we get the 5 of Wands. Yes, actually, no. It's the 7 of Wands, pardon me. The 5 of Wands was the one that I was looking at before. So we have the 7 of Wands here. So look, this is about defending oneself from attack. But this is turned up in the obstacle position, or we can interpret it as reversed. So actually, this can sometimes mean being helped out by friends, ironically. Yeah. So it seems that Labour are probably going to get a lot of help in their quest for this new beginning. Yeah. So what this suggests to me is that there could be consensus in the British public about getting the Tories out at the very least. I think that is fair to say. Yeah. Now, if we look here, we have the the Knight of Pentacles here, which is known as the slowest moving card in the deck. Now here, but this is also a card of loyalty, and slow and steady wins the race. So it could be that, I think what people have been saying for a long time, that Labour has been ahead in the polls for a long time. So while maybe not spectacular, because this isn't a fireworks, lights, camera, action card, I think this is talking about Labour's slow and steady progress, potentially to victory. Yeah, it may be a slow card, but it's a hard one to shake off its path. Remember that. If we look here, though, there are some machinations going on. Yeah, there's some machinations going on. We have the High Priestess here, but also as well, this could also be seeking divine inspiration, spirituality, and insights. Yeah, intuition and insight. So if we take this in the more positive context, because pretty much all the cards here in this deck are positive, this is, in a way, Labour kind of using its intuition, yeah, going slowly, not trying to rush, not wanting to break the Ming vase, as some would say. And then their outcome card is the 6 of Cups, which is actually a very positive card. It talks about family, nostalgia, maybe returning to something. So maybe Labour returning to power might make people feel more optimistic and nostalgic. So I would say overall for Labour, those cards are looking pretty positive. And I would say it would have to take something of an epic miracle for this Tory government to win. Let's just put it that way, because they are just almost universally hated right now. Let's just click on here as well. I just got, so thank you so much, Foggy, for your donation. You gave me 2. Oh, thank you. That is so kind. Thank you so much. All right, let's get to the next question. Let's see here. So Linda Tracy has asked, hi Hogarth, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all you do for us. Thank you. I've still got the thingamajig up. Let me just click off that. There we are. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. You are truly appreciated. Thank you. I am wondering what the energy of Earth is in the grand picture. I often feel that we don't play a part in the cosmos except for celestial jokes these days. Thanks so much. So, all right, the energy of the Earth. Yeah, let's look into that. The energy of Gaia. What's going on with Gaia at the moment? And let's say maybe by extension, the collective. Yeah, intense times, isn't it, folks? Intense. Let's have a look. Gaia, the collective. Actually, I need to pull some cards for Duck L'Orange as well, because he's having the sweats. Gaia and the collective. 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 Look at that. She's back again. You saw that shuffling. High Priestess is back. Okay, fine. There we go. Very interesting. Very interesting. All 491 of you now. Right, Gaia and the collective. Yeah, what's going on? Here we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is back, but now we're talking about Gaia and we're talking about the collective. So what this is showing to me is that people are having to dig deeper in terms of, you know, they're beginning to explore more their spirituality. Yeah, their spirituality. They're looking more to spiritual means for answers, for meanings. They're having to go within. They're having to go within, but up and out. Up in terms of that spiritual expression. I think many more of you are obviously not only watching, you know, channels like mine and the others, tarot readers, psychics, etc. This is also all of you collectively going deeper into that energy. This is also as well talking about the divine feminine as well. So this is very appropriate here. Going back to what I was talking about with magic and stuff like that as well. This is also that as well. Let's not forget she is fluent in all of the mystical texts and books. We have the Torah here. She's got I think that's Isis headgear, or the one that's like a bull. Forgive me, I'm a bit rusty when it comes to my Egyptian mythology. We've got the moon here. So this is, and the pillars of King Solomon. So that kind of Gaia energy, the divine feminine, people are going into it more. However, if we look here, we've got the 9 of Wands. So it's showing, yes, it's challenging for many people. Many people are feeling embattled, having to graft, working really hard to kind of stay afloat, health issues, challenges, but still persevering. Remember, this is the card of perseverance. For many as well in the world, there are some money issues as well, things to do. You know, here we've got the wealthy merchant who's sort of handing out the little coins to the people there that are having to receive alms. So I think this is also talking as well in regards to the cost of living, the expense of things, but definitely UK. I mean, in America, at least your interest, you know, your inflation is lower. You guys are actually doing quite, you know, pretty well in comparison to the rest of the world. UK, you know, it's still stubbornly high, and a lot of people are struggling to make ends meet. But I think this is just talking about that energy. People are feeling everything is very heavy right now as well. If we look here, we have the Lovers. I've got to cover the naughty bits. Here's the Lovers. So as you know, the Lovers, I always say, deals with big choices, big decisions to be made, but also deals with trade, import, exports, goods and services. So I think this is also talking about the wider economy as well. Obviously, people want it to do well. However, the outcome card is the 8 of Swords. So it's a sense of feeling bound and tied up. So I think a lot of people are feeling quite frustrated by the politics right now, the intensity of what's going on right now, what we're seeing coming out about, you know, our leaders and stuff like that, and the scandals and all the various different things. Let me pull one clarify here. Hopefully it's a bit more of a positive card. Let's have a look. Just to clarify that 8 of Wands. I was feeling 8 of Swords, sorry. Now here we get the Queen of Wands. So this is actually a bit more positive here. So this is the Queen of Wands, is very energetic, very social, great at bringing people together, all of that kind of thing. So what this suggests to me is that, again, this is about coming together. As I was saying in my video yesterday, we have to come together as a collective. We have to pool our wisdom, our skill, our magic to affect those positive changes. This is a very positive card. Let's not forget that. So, and here as well, you'll see the Black Cat is here, which is talking about a person that uses their intuition. So I would say that that kind of clarifier card is actually quite positive. And you'll see there's actually quite a lot of women in these cards. The High Priestess, Queen of Wands, there's a woman in this card. And of course, there's a woman too in the Lovers card. So I think this is talking as well about the divine feminine and the collective energy of women as a whole, and how that can be a catalyst for changes, important changes that we make in the future. So yes, so it's tough now, but it's saying that, you know, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. It's not all bad. All right, let's do a quick read on Trump and Stormy Daniels and Stormy case. You know, can't go long without reading on the orange, crispy duck l'orange that I've started to refer to now as the heat is being turned up on him. He has done every delaying tactic he can, from what I can understand, with the pundits, trying to delay this case, and it looks like New York are not having it. And it's unfortunate for him, of course, that it's also, oh, look at that. Look what fell out. Literally judgment. Oh, you know, well, he's got it coming. Let me just do a quick thank you here. Thank you, Linda Joe, so much for your donation. Much appreciated. All right, so I was doing my shuffling and the judgment card is all out. Let's see what the other four have to say for Duck l'Orange. Crispy Duck l'Orange. Let's see. Crispy Duck l'Orange. We'll see what Shakespeare has to say as well about Duck l'Orange. Well, these cards are pretty clear. All right, so the judgment card has fallen out. Yep. So this is what he's trying to avoid on Monday. Yeah. So if he is, they said they're not going to stop the trial starting on Monday. From what I've seen, that's what they've said. The only way he can avoid this, of course, is if the Supreme Court steps in. But remember, I said they're going to be doing weird stuff. I hope they do not. If they step in to delay this case, this will be utterly outrageous. But you know my thoughts on them already. But look, judgment card. So look, the bugle call, the wake up call. So this is suggesting, yeah, probably not so good for Duck l'Orange. Here in his obstacle position, we have the Queen of Cups, which is what? A woman with secrets to tell, yeah? Underneath her thing. So this, of course, has to be Stormy Daniels, yeah? And, you know, this card also talks about creativity and stuff like that. And she is a creative person, particularly, of course, in her industry and stuff like that. But she is still a human being and a person and a businesswoman and an entrepreneur. And she has got her story to tell. Most of it, of course, is already known, but there is a difference between what has been said publicly and in and around the gag orders and actually a court of law. This is different. This is when we really get to find out what is in the crucible of secrets. Yeah. So obviously, when we're talking about Duck l'Orange, you know, she's turned up in the obstacle position. However, look at the middle card. What's anchoring it all? Ace of Swords. The truth. Yeah, the truth comes out. The truth comes out. This is the sword of truth. This is obviously a very strong yes card. So it is saying that basically the case will go ahead. Like I said, the only way it's not going to go ahead is if the Supreme Court do something outrageous. So I'm not counting that out because we have that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which is reaching its perfection on the 20th of April to the 22nd of April, 2024. So just basically in a few weeks. But here in the middle, we do have the sword of truth here. So it's going to be very difficult for the crispy Duck l'Orange to, you know, avoid this one. What is it about? Look at the next card. About a relationship, their relationship. Now we know that the affair happened, and that in many ways is not the biggest shtick of it all. It's what the money was used for. The hush money, of course, was used to silence Stormy before or during, rather, if I remember correctly, Trump's campaign for office. And I can't remember at which critical juncture it was, but it was very significant. It was either when I think it was when it was just beginning, or something of there or thereabouts. You let me know in the comments. You guys obviously know better. But either way, it wouldn't have been good for him, at least at that time, to be obviously associated with a porn star. Yeah, and he was having an affair while Melania was pregnant. Look at the outcome. Oh dear. Yeah. 4 of Swords. So what this says to me is that when I look at it from this perspective, we have the judgment coming down with a woman, probably Stormy Daniels, revealing all of her secrets and truths. The truth will come out in court about the nature of their relationship and the deals that were made to silence her, which are well documented. And the outcome could actually be quite devastating for Duck L'Orange. Really could. Look. So this is about being retreating, the 4 of Swords, being wounded in battle. I'm not going to say that he's necessarily going to kick the bucket, but I mean, this could be deeply wounding for him. And I think, am I right, folks? If he's found guilty of this, this could also carry prison charges. Either way, look, this is literally quite a grave situation for Duck L'Orange in terms of outcome. So, there we are. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So we've done that. There was someone who asked me about Iran. So do you see Israel being attacked by Iran? Things are brewing up there, and that's Elizabeth Carey. So let's have a look. We do need to ask about that. Gosh, how the time goes quickly. I'll see if I can squeeze in another one after this. Iran. If Iran strikes, then you know, like I said, remember the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction? It's happening in Aries. Sudden shocks, surprises, outlandish things, wars over religion, etc., or idolatry, anything like that. So, you know, Iran's been attacked. So, of course, you know, they will likely reciprocate in some kind of way. So let's see. Now, when I did read on this, I said they might use the courts as a weapon against Israel, but let's have a look. Let's see what the cards say on this specific question of attack. And I did see a headline saying that Iran was planning to retaliate, but was that hype? We'll have to see. Look at this. That's like the 3rd time I've got this card, 6 of Pentacles. And look at this. Look, the 8 comes back again, 8 of Swords. Okay, right. So as you saw me thoroughly shuffling the deck, and we've got return cards again. So here, in the context of Iran, oh, there's 530 of you here now. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Much appreciated. So if we look here, so look, we have the 6 of Pentacles has returned again. So again, this is the generous merchant kind of giving out arms here. But this is, we're talking about, is Iran going to attack? So we'll have to see. They are considering it, but they're not rushing like in the other cards that I got from them. This isn't a speedy, rushy card. Look, this is about weighing things out. I think they're weighing out the cost, risk, benefit. Yeah, cost, risk, benefit. If they do strike Israel, there has to be in a certain way that brings them yield and reward. Yeah, of some kind, because this is the merchant who is, you know, trying to be diplomatic, charitable even. So we'll have to see. I'm thinking it's going to be a more considered response or a very strategic strike. I doubt if it's going to be something like, you know, bombing the center of Israel. Certainly hope not. But whatever it is they choose to do, there is an element of measure here, planning, weighing it out quite literally. However, if we look at the next position here, which is normally the obstacle position, but here we have the magician. So this is talking about what affirmative action, using every tool at the disposal. So this is Iran, who is going to probably try and use this in the most strategic and advantageous way for Iran, yeah, which is likely to maybe either increase their power or influence in the region, yeah, because this is a very self-determining card. However, this work is difficult. We see here we've got the 10 of Wands. So again, this could mean, it may mean that the work is not carried out efficiently. Maybe the rocket might go astray, or it just ends up being an awful, tremendous amount of work. Hopefully it won't escalate things too far. If there is a strike, it's going to be strategic again, to sort of like tangle up Israel in some kind of way, yeah, to kind of almost imprison or stymie. So would it be maybe something more to do with like power plants and stuff rather than civilians? It might be something to do with the internet. It could be maybe they want to knock out a big internet kind of thing, and maybe kind of affect Israel in that way, because I'm just feeling strategy and look, stymieing. It's not the tower. Yeah, the tower would be like a big, you know, bomb or something like that. And then the outcome card here is the 9 of Cups. So this will suggest that that Iran will be in some way satisfied with this attack. So it's gonna be something. They may succeed in stymieing. Yeah, this is the card of stymie, being like almost held prisoner and what have you. They're likely to succeed because this is the wish fulfillment card. So it's going to be something strategic, I would say. But it is also as well about rebalancing their power in the wider Middle East as well, because of course, you know, sadly, because of what's unfolded in Gaza, Israel has lost a lot of moral high ground, and I think we can all agree with that. Even Biden now is actually asking for a ceasefire, etc., and many people. So I hope you found that interesting. Let's see if I can squeeze in one more. So there's that. So did that. Someone's asked me, hello Hogarth, have you ever done Justin Trudeau's chart, PM of Canada, where I'm from? So this is Elizabeth Carey. I'll be curious to see what's ahead of him, as well as for us in Canada in 2024/2025. Do you see any attack in Canada? Maybe just a quick reading, as the far right is rising in Canada and it scares me. So let's have a little look at that. Now remember what I said, Pluto is in sidereal Capricorn. Pluto, of course, is the dark night of the soul, but also deals with all sorts of corruption and stuff. But let's not forget, he also deals with things moving to the right. This is why you're seeing this collectively a lot in politics, a lot of stuff moving to the right. So let's do a quick pull. Let's do that. Let's do a quick pull. What's going on for Trudeau in Canada and the energy of the far right? Are they gaining ground? Let's have a look. Look at this. Do you see how the cards are repeating? Nines of Wands have come back. The Fool is back. Ah. Right. Okay. This is interesting. All right. So if we see here, we have the 10 of Cups. So this is the happy family. Isn't this interesting? Because I think when I read on Trudeau last time talking about the politics and stuff, I said he had to kind of re-embrace family values. Do you see the card has come back again? 10 of Cups is about, you know, wish fulfillment as well, but it deals with the happy family values, basically, you know. So it's come back up again. So that seems to be coming through as a consistent message, shall we say, politically for Trudeau. Again, I don't focus a tremendous amount on Canadian politics, but when I just read the cards. So there's this element of here of coming back to family values or focusing policy on family specifically. He is feeling embattled, yeah. He's feeling the challenge, of course, particularly that pressure coming from the right, you know, which seems to have a bit of a groundswell in Canada. But this is also a canny and determined campaigner. So Trudeau should not be underestimated. This is someone who knows how to battle, how to fight, even if it is difficult. We see here there is a brand new start here, a fresh new start. But for who? Yeah. Because we also need to remember as well that Trudeau is the incumbent. So what this says to me is his success will depend on him breaking new ground, taking chances, a leap of faith. He may have to do something a little bit different to appeal to a wider section of the electorate. Maybe he does appeal to a lot of the electorate, but there's something here about embattlement around family values. Yeah, that seems to keep coming up consistently. So there needs to be a leap of faith. If you see here, he gets another major arcana card, and this time it's the Sun. Now the Sun is a very positive one. Now it can also refer to hot countries and stuff like that. So we all know he's fond of Jamaica and holidays in places abroad. It can literally mean hot, sunny places, but it also means what? Revelation or enlightenment, insight, light being shed on something. So when I look at these two, when I just as neutrally as I can, just reading that energy, that says epiphany for me. Yeah, fresh new start with enlightenment and insight. This says epiphany. So he may have an epiphany about something politically or what to do or what have you. But here, the outcome card, though, is the Four of Pentacles. So this shows trying to hold on. This is something a bit, you know, more conservative values, because let's not forget as well, Pentacles are also not just about Earth, they're also about values. So there is a sense of here of Trudeau trying to hold on to his premiership. It shows that it could be a lot of work. But in terms of him holding on, if I read the cards backwards, he's here trying to hold on to his premiership, but it's going to require a flash of insight, taking a leap of faith and some chances, battling through and battling for what the electorate wants in terms of family values and security for all in Canada. If he goes that route, then I would suggest that might suggest he may be able to hold on. But you see, it's not a big ebullient card. So I think he's got to keep his wits about him. Yeah, he's got to keep his wits about him. And then we'll see what happens. So 2024, of course, going into 2025. All right, folks, the hour has gone already. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Let's do a little quick read through just to see who is here. Please don't forget, of course, to like and subscribe as well. Oh, the chat's kind of frozen up. Let's see if the chat's going to wake up a bit here. Oh, typical. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So let's see. What is there? America Army gave Ukraine seized Iranian weapons. Is that true? That's Pata Mao that's saying that. Laura... What does this mean? Laurel Notley saying, Hogarth, why tarot instead of Owry for the questions? Because that would mean I would have to cast an orrery chart for every single question that came to me. Can you imagine? Am I really going to cast 8 or 9 charts? No, sorry. No, I do on my Thursday fry-up, I do a combination of astrology and tarot. So you can imagine that would be immensely time-consuming to do that. And on Thursdays, I also see clients as well. So it's just not practical. But thanks for your question, though. That is a fair point. That is a fair point. Patricia says hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Patricia. What's this here? Using your more. Here we are. Let's close with that. I think that's quite a good comment one here. Wade Woodruff says, Hogarth, oh, Hogarth, you are more powerful than you know. God wins. Ah, thank you. That's very, very kind. I didn't see my name bit there. I thought it was a more of a general thing. I would say that and extend that comment out to everyone else as well. This is about pulling together, folks. We really, as humanity, we need to pool our energy together in the face of these extraordinary challenges and revelations that we're seeing. I did predict all of this stuff, and I said it would be very difficult because there's a lot of stuff coming out now that can no longer be, you know, held back. The eclipses are doing it as well. Imagine when we come to the next set of eclipses in October, you know, barely a month before the elections in the United States, and many elections throughout the world would have also happened at that point and will still be happening. So this is, with the age of magic returning, this is about us taking that journey within. Remember too, the high priestess. So, you know, tapping into those higher powers, higher realms, doing things for the collective good, meeting in groups, exchanging stories and stuff. This is also why I'm putting my book out, as you guys know, at some point in April. And also the retreats, getting everyone together so we can pool our energies and all start rowing in the right direction to bring light to this shadow and alchemize those things. So don't give up, of course, keep going. Thank you so much for everyone as well for contributing to my channel and the lovely comments and all of that kind of stuff. I will leave it there for now because I probably should get some rest after a busy day, but thank you so much. And of course, you will see me on Hogili again with Alina, and we'll have Sheila from Celtic Tarot as well. I'll be touching base in with Lady G to see how she is getting on. But remember, there is that the nodes are bringing a lot of that health issues and stuff like that as well. So, but this can be overcome. Alchemy, magic is the key. Buy the books, start studying. I'm flinging out my little book and stuff like that as well to facilitate with that journey for all of us. But I will leave it there. Big love to everyone. And thank you so much as well for the donations. All right. Bye-bye for now.